BAME farm fans. We're coming across the infamous creek crossing because we have to get some corn. We are out. The animals are almost hungry. Oh, come on, lateral tilt. Lift up that outside so I don't get too bushwhacked. Lateral tilt the other way. You can't see it because I'm trying to do it smooth enough. We're bringing over the old style New Holland head. It'll probably be left here. We're coming over here first because this was the first planted corn, so theoretically it's the driest. So it won't turn into a total mess when we grind it. Pull up here and get out of the way so Dad can get across. I guess we'll let him ride with us a little bit. I'm gonna take off a few end rows. I don't need to because I've got the unisystem to ear pick. But since we have the combine here, it'll be easier because I won't have to worry about the wagon behind me if I ever have to back up. We'll see how this corn did through late replant and wetness and all that fun stuff. Good news is we don't have to worry about mud today because we haven't had a whole lot of rain. That's fantastic. There's Dad with the wagon train. Bringing 3 wagons. That's all we're going to get. Tyre's got a good wash crossing the creek. There's more water there than I figured there would have been. That's just delightful. Yeah, we haven't had much rain, in the last October. It's election day. So in the last 6 weeks we've had maybe a little over an inch of rain. It's fantastic. I love the lack of rain. It doesn't do us any good this time of year anyways. Well, we'll see how long it takes Dad to find some place to park, and then we're gonna get going and shelling some corn here. I'm hoping the camera behaves for more than 30 seconds. Dad's pulling up. The hill didn't help us. Kind of got us to lean some corn over the edge. And let's pull the lever. I kind of tried to fill up the auger to help ourselves out, to dump or to get some out of the tank, but the problem is that the tank pulls off the far side over yonder before it pulls any corn from this side, really. I'm gonna have to try to reposition some. We can always swing the auger. That's the joys. That's why I love these New Hollands. Or Dad'll back up. There's that too. So I tested it. Corn's about 18%. That's doing well. And I got here and it started spilling off the edge, coming back around to the front of the field. Hopefully the camera behaves so I can actually get some footage where I can compare early spring yield punch in the face by the horrendously wet weather we had. So I'm harvesting, this is the early stuff that was planted while the locust trees were still blooming. So that was, that was middle of May. You can see this, it's got the stress marks. Corn has these red stripes. That's usually a sign of stress. Kernels are pretty good and long. It filled out a tall kernel. I think we need to up the fan speed. We just put a new fan belt on and we don't have it adjusted too well. I think some of this cob would blow out. Let's see how the camera keeps doing. You're on the steering wheel right now, watching the head. We're coming up to where we're working. This is the stuff that survived the rain and was planted mid-May and kept growing. I don't know if it survived the greatest, but it took that punch in the face and it didn't die. It's not the greatest corn, but it's the non-replanted corn, and we'll take it. Didn't have time to replant because it rained so much afterwards. My later planted corn looks, human eye, before the combine goes through it, looks incredibly better. This is showing off an area where I should have ran a ditch. I didn't have a ditch there. Like I hopefully have said in previous videos, like the replant video here, I was making the ditches right as it got dark and was starting to rain in the TW, because I knew it was going to rain, so I had a cab tractor. And in the downpour, I was hurriedly trying to scratch some water trenches through this. So we're using the old head. Like I said earlier, I'm going to leave it over here for the ear picker. Corn's testing about 18, said that while we were unloading there. And the goal is to ear pick the front of this field. I'm taking off the stuff in the back where we share a bare property line that usually lets the wind in to somehow, with some big rain event, usually around Thanksgiving or early December, will just totally mess up the stand of corn. So I'm taking this stuff off back here while it's standing somewhat nicely. Let's test out the planter spacing. I'm going to cut up through the middle of this. Here we are. You can't see it, but it's a little tight over here on the right side. Which hopefully means there's good spacing on the left, because I didn't fold the ladder up. This combine is like having a Gleaner K, we'll say, with a 2-row head. 4 rows is a little tight. Sometimes I don't wonder about running 6 or 8 rows through it. But that's more adventure than I have anticipated on for a good long while. There are 6-row, 5 and 6-row wide heads, and then you'd really test mine and Dad's ability to keep a nice straight set of rows with the planter following the marker. Now going into the sun, this is a real bear. I can't see much. I tried to wash the windows off as best as I could. There's an axle breaker. But hey, the corn looks really good around it, so maybe it did its job. That 3rd row there, or 2nd, depending upon which way you count from, is backing up a little bit with some trash. The tops of the stalks in some places are trying to break off, and that's probably due to stock health or lack thereof from being so wet that the tops are just blown out because the plant didn't grow so great, but it did put a pretty good focus into the grain. At least it looks good in the tank. As we'll look in the yield monitor back there, how are we looking? I don't know, but we gotta get back to following rows up front. And this looks like, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not a planter pass. I don't know whose pass it is. We'll just cheat and back up. I was trying to be smart. In the previous section I was taking off a set every few rows just so it was easier for me to go through driving. I don't know, maybe because of the mud hog and the bigger rear tires, the steering in the back won't let me go as tight. Not sure. Definitely don't need the mud hog today. We're wide open on the hydro in 2nd gear, pushing about 3 miles an hour, trying to load these 2 rotors up as best as possible. We're seeing that it's definitely plenty for the head to keep up with, but we haven't slipped the clutch on the auger, so that is a sign we can just keep cramming it in there and trying to get the best fuel efficiency possible, because that price is horrendous. Hopefully everybody filled up their tank and went to the grocery store before voting today. Yeah, man, back here where there's some slope and the water got away, doesn't look half bad compared to what we were in. You guys kind of missed that because the camera was being a monkey. This is the longest clip it's filmed all afternoon. I probably should of a hemorrhage. So I don't know if you noticed, there is a pretty solid ground cover underneath the corn. And it's full of panicum. There's not a broadleaf out here. The spray worked for that, but I guess was a little so-so on the grass, which for a lot of this field didn't get sprayed until at least 3 weeks to a month after this was planted, which was, you know, slightly earlier in June than the replant. The replant area I sprayed about Memorial Day-ish. It was plenty wet then, like it wasn't replantable then. I was making tracks with the 1086, and sometimes seemed like I was pushing my luck for ground conditions. But I need to come over here and try to disc this to help all that grass break down. I mean, we've got great organic material going into the soil, thanks to the grass. Where the corn got off to a good start, which, you know, the stuff that I didn't spray the first go round, the corn competed well enough. It's just a few areas where I maybe should have replanted and didn't, where I thought there was a decent stand of corn. Now we got plenty of ground cover going. So nature took care of itself there, I guess. Let's check yield monitor. Woo! It's yielding a belly full of corn, that's what it's yielding. It's not about bushels per acre, it's about dollars per acre. And this year it's all the dollars per acre because the cost of everything went through the roof. So we're going to remember 2022 for a seemingly dry fall and wild prices. Yeah, I got one nice set of rows out here. Easy to take off. We're going to try to get 3 wagon loads of corn. That way I've got something to sell to the deer hunters, so at least I'm getting paid before it's wasted by the deer.